Errani faces Sharapova while Federer faces Djokovic, just as he did last year. Yes, it's the climax of the French Open. Earlier I spoke to Tom Perrotta, who is in Paris covering the tournament. I asked him first about Maria Sharapova's chances in the women's final, despite her recent surgery.
A very good chance. She's looked great. She's playing really well, moving well, which is not really her strength, but helps a lot on clay. And she's going to be a huge favorite. Errani is a lower ranked player, and before her last two matches, she had never beaten a woman inside the top 10. She had been 0-28 against them. So she's not used to beating people like this, although she is on a good run right now.
Where does Errani come from? She seems to be a bit of a dark horse that's come out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's an Italian player, always sort of quite a good feisty player and good on clay. Big change for her is she says she switched rackets, and it's a little bit longer of a racket. She's a very small woman. She's about 5'5" at best and very light, but she feels like she's getting a little more power on her shots and a little more reach. And tennis can be a confidence game. She has a lot of it right now, and she's playing really well.
Let's get on to the men's semi-finals then. There's Rafael Nadal versus David Ferrer, his countryman. This is semi-final. I mean, Nadal always seems to be around.
There's only one time he's played this tournament where he hasn't gotten at least this far. He's won it 6 times. He's only lost once at the French Open in his career. And if he wins this year, it'll be number 7, and that would put him ahead in front of Bjorn Borg. They both have 6 titles for their career now.
That would be quite a feat, and I mean, so this could be quite a historic French Open.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a pretty clear case almost that he's the best clay court player in history as it is now, and if he wins this tournament, it's sort of bar none.
I mean, what sort of condition is Rafael in at the moment? I mean, is he playing well?
Playing very well. I mean, he came to this tournament with more confidence than he did last year and a better attitude. He's been more relaxed. He hasn't lost a set yet. He's really looked incredible, actually. Although, his opponents haven't been particularly tough yet. The last round was tough. Today against Ferrer will be quite difficult. And then if he has to play Novak Djokovic in the final, he's had a lot of trouble with him the last year, though he has beaten him the last 2 times they've played.
Well, that's interesting because, of course, the other semi-final is Roger Federer against Djokovic. I mean, this is a rematch of last year. We've seen these two at each other's throats before. Yeah,
they played the 2 best matches of the season last year. One was here in Paris, and Federer upset Djokovic. Djokovic was on a 43-match winning streak at that point, and Federer beat him. And then at the U.S. Open, Djokovic beat Federer, and he saved 2 match points in the match and won and went on to win the U.S. Open. So they have great matches, great contrasting styles. Djokovic is very athletic and gets to everything, and Federer, is graceful.
And Federer is the master of cool, as we all know. It'll be interesting to see. But what are the favorites of the moment?
Favorite for sure right now is Nadal. He hasn't played a lot. He hasn't been on court a lot. He's rested. He's playing incredibly well. Djokovic has been on court a lot of time. He's played 2 5-set matches, and he hasn't looked quite as sharp. And Federer hasn't looked quite as sharp either. He nearly lost his last match, but his opponent was a little injured and lost after winning the first 2 sets.
And any real chances for Djokovic, you think?
Yes, yeah, I think so. I mean, if anyone's going to beat Nadal at this tournament, I think it's going to be him. Nadal is very good against Federer on all surfaces, but especially on clay. He seems to really have him down. But Djokovic, I'd give him a chance. I still would say Nadal.
And of course, if he won, would that mean that Djokovic would be holding all 4 Grand Slams?
Yes, it'd be the first time that had been done since 1969. Rod Laver did it then. That was all in a single year. This wouldn't be in a single year, but still an amazing accomplishment. He would have all 4 Grand Slam titles, and he would have beaten Nadal in the final of all 4 of them.
Brilliant, Tom. Thank you very much indeed.